Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Justin. I play guitar on songs here in Nashville. And today I wanted to tell you about how I cured my own tennis elbow. And I want to show you some exercises that I did in order to do that. And maybe even if you don't have tennis elbow, this is a good thing to get into the habit of as you play guitar. There are some motions and muscle movements unique to guitar that you don't really experience throughout your day-to-day, and I think it's just a good idea to have some things that you can do to keep yourself in shape. Not just in terms of your playing, but in terms of your hands being able to play without any pain. That's what I did. But first, I was just goofing around on this loop, and let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, so sometimes I just goof around on things, and that's a way that I practice. Or maybe I need to just start writing stuff and making a little solo record of wildly self-indulgent instrumental material. Man, that just seems like the guitar player thing to do. I don't know. I rebel against it. Anyway, so that chord progression, I was in E flat standard tuning on the whatever that guitar is called. It's been a long day. On the rubber bridge guitar. And I was playing sort of like a E flat 7 to A flat. And then my little turnaround was 2 minor 7, flat 3 add 9, 1 7 to 4 7. Then my B section, flat 6 major 7, flat 7 13. It's kind of it's a 6 chord with the add 4. Flat 7 6 add 4 is what I would say. Flat 7, 6 chord, add 4. And then to a 5 og. And that's just a B7 with your G. B's 5th is F sharp, so you're playing F sharp sharp. Sharp 5 is an og, right? So, and then I just sort of noodled over it. So let's talk about these exercises. Because it took me a while, but I literally cured my own tennis elbow. Tennis elbow is which you get this like shooting sort of pain in it's on the outside of the elbow. So everybody, I think the misconception with tennis elbow is that you think that it's like this pain that you get on the inside of your elbow, like if you sleep on your arm funny and you wake up and that kind of hurts. That's not it at all. It's more about the backhand in tennis. It's these extensor muscles and how, if they're not really in shape, the tendon sheaths, this is the best way I understand it, I'm not a professional, the tendon sheaths sort of, they start to rub on the bones in your elbow and you get this sort of shooting pain. Well, it got really bad for me last year. Put this away. It got to the point where I was trying to draw my bow, and I would draw my bow and it would swell up. And that would freak me out a lot. So I called a buddy of mine in Kansas, just because we talk all the time, really good friend of mine. And he told me, I told him that I had tennis elbow in my right arm. And you can get it not just from finger style playing or picking and then also plucking. You can get it from typing, from using a mouse, like a non-ergonomic mouse or whatever. It's the extension movements in your hand, okay? So if you're going to try to cure this, don't go grab a bunch of like grip strengtheners or something. Like that's working a completely different set of muscles. It's a different set of muscles that make your grip, right, than it is to extend and release your grip, okay? And it's these muscles here. Like you can see it when I move my arm. I think it's extensor carpi radialis is the main one that I had the problem with. So I told my buddy that I had this problem. I was like, man, this stinks. I think I'm going to get an ergonomic mouse and try to figure this out. And he said, oh, I just got over that. I got rid of it completely. And I was like, you're kidding me. How did you do it? And so he told me that he did a bunch of exercises. And I'll show you what these are. I ordered the really simple things off of Amazon to be able to do this with. And he also, he did some sort of acupuncture with an electrical current, like deep tissue acupuncture. I didn't do any of that, and I still got rid of it, okay? So basically, here is what the exercises boil down to. This is gonna be a short video. I'm just gonna show you what I did and tell you what I think you might be able to do and give you just a couple of tips from something from what I learned on the way. So, one second. Very first thing I bought was a set of these low jest twist bars. So the green one is light, the blue one's medium, and the red one is heavy. And all that means is like how much resistance is there to it. Like this is harder to bend and to twist than this one, right? This is real floppy. So if you got it bad and it hurts a lot, then use the light one, okay? Get the set of 3, all right? You're gonna work your way up to the red. Now what you do is, maybe you got it in both arms, and if that's the case, then you're gonna have to work both sides, right? And I kind of just decided to work both sides anyway because, I don't know, I don't want it to pop up in the other arm. I wanted to tone and strengthen and develop both sides. So what you do is you hold it straight out in your fist, one hand, right? And then you're going to take your other hand and wrap around it. You sort of preload, and then you twist it back, okay? That's all I'm doing, is twisting back and holding. And it's working those extensor muscles. Now, here's the big trick to getting through this. Just like my buddy told me, if you have tennis elbow, this is going to hurt. But you're not doing any extra damage. You're undoing the damage. It's going to hurt to do the exercises that you need to do to get rid of it, okay? I think that's why most people don't get rid of it, all right? So this is the easy setting. I would just do 10, and then I would switch where I'm holding it out straight in this hand, and then I would grip, you know, preload over here, and then twist back until my hands are even. And that creates resistance throughout the entire motion that I'm making, right? If I roll my wrist around it and grip far enough around, then this entire movement has resistance and is working those muscles, okay? So I would keep doing it, move to the blue, move to the red, and the red's hard. The red is, yeah. I mean, that I would do fewer reps in each set. Like, let's do 3 sets of 5, okay? So I would hold it out straight, preload my grip, and I'd go slower. The heavier the weight, the fewer reps you need for results. And that actually it's going to give you different kinds of results, okay? I think building muscle, the most efficient way to build muscle is heavy, heavy, heavy weight, meaning something that you struggle to do 3 sets of like 6 reps with, but do 3 sets of 6 reps, okay? And then give your body a day to rest. So you're going to do 3 sets, both sides, you know, really crank it, come back slowly, readjust your grip, crank it, hold, come back slowly. And the thing is, it's actually working your grip strength as well in your hand and in the, you know, the inside of your forearm. So those things were crucial for me getting over this. Very much so. Something else I did that my buddy recommended to me. Take a 10-pound kettlebell, hold your arm out straight, or set it on a table so that it's nice and flat, and then you're just going to raise and lower that weight, okay? All the way up and down, nice and slow. If you have shoulder issues and it's hard to hold a weight out like that, then get on a table, sit on the table, and sort of lean down onto it and have your hand on the edge of the table and just sort of droop the weight over the table so that your entire arm is resting on the table and you don't have any tension on your shoulder. Otherwise, you should be able to just hold it like straight out, you know, and maybe that's something you can work up to, but you do 3 sets of 5 each side, nice and controlled, you know. Over time, for me, I just noticed that if it would start to hurt, that was like a reminder to do these exercises, and I'd stop and do a set. Or I'd stop and do all the sets, you know, both exercises, the twist bars and holding a, you know, if you have like a little dumbbell, if you don't have any dumbbells, use like a can of canned food or something. Or if it really hurts, if you're like like I can't move it or it hurts, you know, use lighter weight, use lighter resistance, start slower, you know. For me, and again, not a professional, I'm not making medical recommendations to anybody, but what worked for me was being really consistent with these exercises that do hurt. It does, you do feel the tennis elbow flare up while you're doing it. It feels like that. But you're just strengthening those muscles, and it's them being in shape and being toned and being taken care of properly that's going to make that go away. That's how it was for me, you know. And throughout this time, I was working out in other ways as well, but certain movements while I was working out, if I was taking a weight and like a kettlebell and pulling it up like this, if I was drawing my bow like this, again, if I was typing, if I was using my mouse, if I was playing, it would start to flare up. And it wasn't until I did these targeted exercises that made it go away. And it took a while, you know. I think how consistent you are will shorten that time, you know, if you're more consistent. So that's all I got. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope this is helpful to somebody. I want to do some other videos just about being in shape for guitar playing, like the kind of chair you sit in, maybe some core things, because I got to the point in my late 30s where I was just throwing my back out all the time, like every couple months, and I'd be walking to a studio and kind of all twisted up, you know. And man, I think it's easy to get it in your head that means that you're overdoing it and you need to relax. You need to be easier on yourself. And that's the opposite of what you need to do. You need to do harder things in a structured way that make you stronger, okay? The movement, it's not like you have so many movements left. And if you do so many of them, you're just going to fall apart, right? I think that's true for some people. Like if you're a hardcore military guy in the military for decades, you know, like, yeah, you can overuse your body and overwork it. But for the rest of us who really, we have these issues because we're sedentary, because we sit too much, because we don't do enough strength building motions with our arms and hands, and then we sit and type and do these little tiny motions that just make this like tendon sheath go over your bone. For the rest of us, the strength training is the way out. Again, I've said this before in other videos, but motion is lotion. Unless you've got some kind of real joint issue, or like a slipped disc in your back, or some kind of rheumatoid arthritis, or something really serious. If you're just out of shape from being sedentary, like I was, and kind of still am, I'm getting my way out of it, then it's moving that's going to make it better. It really is. Getting up and being structured with your movements and having resistance to them, weight training. I mean, even with this is like a weight. I mean, if I grip this and then I twist, it's resisting that motion all the way through until I get back to where the bar was at rest. If you can see the end of it, you can see how I'm twisting it all the way around, and then it comes back, like all the way around, and hold it, and then slowly let it back. You know, you can do a lot more on your own than you think you can. And for me, it was easy to get motivated to fix that because I'm flapping my fingers all day for my job, you know. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope you have a really great rest of the week. I'll see you later.